Giving all praise, honor, glory to Yahawah, BAHASHAM, YAHAWASHI, BAHASHAM, HaKakwadash. Double honors to the apostles and the elders of Great Millstone and the sincere. Shalom to the Akim that's out there pushing the sincerity and the truth and the sound doctrine. This is going to be a really quick video on a situation that happened yesterday at camp. Well, not even really a situation. It was really just, more of, edification. Of, a brother had came up. This Jake had came up and he was, really getting edified because one of the other brothers on the outside had had brought him up, and he was like kind of telling him like, look, this is where it's at. If you could stay a little while, hey, it is what it is, man. And he stayed for like I think a good hour, maybe two, till he had to go. He asked this one thing. It was really good conversation, really, to be honest. Edification. It was really good. Yesterday we had one of those really edifying, really peaceful, good camps, man. It was really, this guy gave the other brother on the outside a straight up handshake when he was like, hey man, these brothers up here, they taught me, and this Jake that his first time coming up gave that brother a handshake, man, because he was like, should I say, deeply moved by that, man. So it was a really good, I don't want to say conversation, man, but he asked this one thing, and I decided, to do a video on it because why not? He asked this one thing, when is going to be the end of all of this, pretty much. When is going to be the end, of this man's downfall, man? I mean, when is going to be the end of this man's power? And one of the first scriptures we called out was Matthew 24, because that reminded me of when I was reading this a while back. I was like, oh shit, that's what one of the disciples had asked YAHAWASHI, whom the world it really calls Jesus Christ, and that's what they had asked him. All right, so the question is, when is going to be, how do we know when the end is near, pretty much, or how do we know, I'm trying to think of the way he asked it, but it was a straight up answer. It was a straight up question. For whatever reason, I can't think of the question, but it's a straight up, you know what I'm getting at. So this is the book of Matthew chapter 24 verse 3. It says, and as he sat upon the Mount of Olives, all right, that's Jesus, Yahawah, all right, the disciples came unto him privately, saying, tell us, when shall these things be? All right, and what shall be the sign of thy coming and of the end of the world? Right. So how do we know when it's going to be, right? When is the end of this man's society going to be, right? What are the things that we gotta, that we have to look out for, pretty much? Because that's pretty much the answer, is things that you have to look out for. All right. And I'm going to read some of the things that you have to look out for. All right. And then you'll know that the end is really close. Okay. Now, before I start reading, man, there's no way in hell, okay, that you're going to know the exact time and date, of the end of this place, man. All right. Like, the year 2000. See, that's why a lot of people was disappointed, with that year 2000 crap, man. Because you can't put an exact time, a date. The second in command of the entire world, the entire universe, man, doesn't even know when his father is ready to send him, man. He doesn't even know. So there's no way in hell you're going to be able to put an exact time, a date of the end of this place, man. It's not going to happen. You can't do it. Okay. The day of the Lord, it's 1,000 years, as 2 Peter 3 said. So that's one thing we have to keep in mind. All right, because what the Jake was going into is, God damn, man, we've been going through this for hundreds of years and stuff like that. And it's just like, well, goddamn, man, when is the end going to be? When are we going to get out of here? When is this going to stop? When is all of this going to stop? Right? When is the end of all of this going to be? Because this has to stop, right? And again, man, all of us was like, well, like the elder. Well, I was behind the camera, so obviously I wasn't saying much, but the elder and the other brothers, they was like, well, look, man, it ain't even really been a full day compared to from slavery from the 1600s to 2023. It ain't even been a full day to the Most High, man. So, hey, man, the Lord is ready to, but again, I'm going to read some of the things he said, all right, to look out for, okay? Matthew chapter 24, verse 4. And YAHAWASHI answered and said unto them, take heed that no man deceive you, for many shall come in my name, saying, I am Christ, and shall deceive many. That's one of the things you got to look out for. Many saying, like you got the Comforter, and then you got these Christians saying, they come in the name of Christ, they come in the name of the Lord, and and all they doing is deceiving you, man. All they doing is deceiving many. All right. Verse 6. All these different religions and doctrines and stuff like that. All right. Remember, 2 Peter 3 said what? In the last days there shall come scoffers walking after their own lust. That's another thing you look out for. But that's pretty much what this is saying right here. All right, in verse 5. Anyway, verse 6, it says, and ye shall hear of wars and rumors of wars. See that ye be not troubled. Okay, for all these things must come to pass, but the end is not yet. For nation shall rise against nation, and kingdom against kingdom, and there shall be famines and pestilences and earthquakes in diverse places. These are some of the things you look out for, man. Okay. Mind you, because for them to be asking this in verse 3, okay, for his disciples to be asking this in verse 3, some shit had to be going on. Remember, all the disciples thought that the deliverance was coming in their lifetime. Little did they know they was going to be back here thousands and thousands of years later, right? They was going to be back here thousands of years later, right? Doing the same thing and still here, but we can clearly see, man, this is it. There has never ever been a time like this on earth since the creation of the earth, and the Lord and the scriptures say that, man. When this place shuts down, man, and even when this place is shut down, I'm talking about before the deliverance and hell just breaks loose. What do the scriptures say? It's going to be a time like never before since the very creation of the earth, and right now we're pretty much in those times now, man. You see how disorderly and confusing this place really is, man. This earth cannot hold on like this any longer, man. You wonder why they trying to go out of space and try to establish different civilizations on different planets and shit, man. Why they got space stations out there? Because you polluted the planet so much, and now since you polluted it so much and you could barely live on it, you want to go fly somewhere else and shit, man. That ain't nothing but a damn devil, man. All right. Anyway, when you got nation against nation, kingdom against kingdom, that's your nationalities against your nationalities, your countries against your countries, and all this other stuff, man. Your military mights and all this stuff. That's what that is. Famines, right? Famines. I mean, come on, man. I ain't really got to go into that right now, man. We pretty much in one now. All right. You have but then as time goes on, you're gonna have different famines. But the ultimate famine is gonna be Amos chapter 8, all right, verse 11. All right, famine of the word. Okay. But whenever you have GMO foods, the shit that ain't even real, man. Food that ain't even real. You're in a famine. All right, you're in a famine. You eat one thing, and an hour later you're hungry again, man. It's just like, this food just can't be real. It's like you're packing on empty calories and shit, man. It just can't be real. Estrogen in food and stuff like that to effeminize the young men or the men in general is ridiculous, man. They trying to pump up testosterone in the women and stuff like that. They just turning everything upside down, man. You know, they just turn everything upside down. You see, this is why this place has to fall. But these are the signs that we look out for. As things get worse, you're going to know that we're closer and closer to the end. All right, pestilences. All right, you have a pestilence of the mind, and you also have pestilences and sicknesses and flus and stuff like that. Like I just got over one like last month, you know, or to be really the beginning of this month. I just got over it, right? And earthquakes in diverse places. Definitely talking about earthquakes, most definitely. But mainly it's talking about your riots, okay? These riots, protests, and all that other stuff, commotions, all right? Gender wars and stuff like that. That all has everything to do with earthquakes in diverse places. All these are the beginning of sorrows, okay? So these are some of the signs you look out for, man. Right? These are some of the signs you look out for. But what's the end all be all? Because this isn't the end all be all. But these are just signs to look out for. All right? And it's our job to tell you about these signs. But what's the end all be all? We know what it is. You know, because it's definitely not that. You know, because it just said, what? That's the beginning of sorrows. End all be all is Revelation 13 and 16. It says, and he causeth all, both small and great, rich and poor, free and bond, to receive a mark in their right hand or in their foreheads. And it says, and that no man might buy or sell, save he that had the mark or the name of the beast or the number of his name. Here is wisdom. Let him that have understanding count the number of the beast, for it is the number of a man, and his number is 666. Okay, so this is the end all be all right here, man. And when they implement, all right, that rice grain, all right, the C hip, the charagma, the charax, the character or character, all right. When they implement that, that's the end all be all, because we could look at Revelation 14 and 9. All right. Revelation chapter 14, verse 9. It says, and the third angel followed them, saying with a loud voice, if any man worship the beast and his image, and receive his mark in his forehead or in his hand. All right, because you don't have to take that insertion, okay, to worship the beast, because some of you aren't going to take it. If you're in Christianity, because some of those Christians don't take it, all right? They're not going to take it. Some of those Christians, you may even be a Jake, but them Edomite Christians, a lot of them Edomite Christians are not for it. But if you're a Jake, even still, and you don't take that beast, but you're in Christianity, believing in that lie, believing in that bullshit, you are still held accountable for worshiping the image of the beast, because Christianity is still, even if you're against this system to some degree, you're still with this system, because this world runs off of that bullshit ass Christianity. That means you are still going to be punished for your sins, man, because Christianity, this world's Christianity, is nothing but a sin. How do we prove that? It's because, well, you have, like I said, you have Edomites not going to take it, but they still going to go into captivity. It don't matter. But if you're a Jake, you still going to be punished with verse 10, right? Verse 10 is coming to you even if you don't take that, and you're still believing in Jesus and all this other crap that this devil has pushed on you, all right? And you still want to believe in lies that this devil has pushed on you, all right? Verse 10. Verse 10 is coming to you. The same shall drink of the wine of the wrath of the Most High, which is poured without mixture into the cup of his indignation. Okay? And he shall be tormented with fire and brimstone in the presence of the holy angels and in the presence of the Lamb. And the smoke of their torment is sendeth up forever and ever. And they have no rest, all right, day nor night, who worship the beast and his image, and whosoever receiveth the mark of his name. Okay, these is coming to you, man. All right, but this is how you know that Revelation 13, all right, is the end all be all, man, because this is part of that proof right there. All right. Another thing on Revelation 13 we can get, since you got a lot of people out there that say the Old and New Testament have nothing to do with each other. Okay, because Revelation 13 only talks about the NWO. Well, watch this. All right. Again, man, these are things. This is all to answer that one question. All right. Job chapter 20, verse 22, it says, "In the fullness of his sufficiency he shall be in straits, every hand of the wicked shall come upon him. When he is about to fill his belly, the Most High shall cast the fury of his wrath upon him, and shall rain it upon him while he is eating." Okay? "He shall flee from the iron weapon, and the bow of steel shall strike him through." Okay? Now, this sounds like, it says, "It is drawn and cometh out of the body. Yeah, the glittering sword cometh out of his gale. Terrors are upon him." Now, this sounds like I've created a smith that blow up the coals and stuff like that. Remember that in Isaiah. Uh, I can't remember exactly what chapter that's in, but it's in Isaiah. But that's what that is, man. Thermonuclear destruction. All right, they're not making these missiles for no reason, man. But again, man, when he's about to fill his belly, what is that talking about? When he's about to fulfill Revelation 13, man. All right, it's inserting that mark in the right hand on their forehead, man. That's exactly what that's talking about. Okay, then you know what, he's going to be in straits. Then he's not going to fulfill. Okay, but so to answer that question, man, when is the end? Well, just that's the answer, right? That's the answer. Look out for the signs. This is why it's important to be watchmen, right? You gotta look out for them signs, man. Anyway, Lord willing, this was edifying. Giving all praise, honor, glory to Yahawah, BAHASHAM, YAHAWASHI, Shalom.